Hey fam, welcome back to my channel. How has your first week of 2020 been? As you can see, mine has been very eventful in not the greatest way, but God has been teaching me so much during the past few days. How has yours been? Have you been busy? What have you been doing? And as we can see, it's already been a week in, and yeah, the days are just gonna go by so fast. So today we're gonna talk about how not to care about what other people think, and to not compare yourself to other people, and I'll tell you a little bit about my story. Growing up, I think it's just like a natural maybe instinct to maybe compare, oh, that person has this, or that person's doing that, or why not me, or I'm not good enough, or if you have insecurities, only God knows. So how do we get to a point where you just don't care what they think, And so this has been my journey, was I really, had to learn from God, do not worry about what anyone else thinks, because He literally created you with a specific purpose, completely unique, to look a certain way, to talk a certain way, to act a certain way, to be a certain way, not to compare yourself with anybody else, because every single person is different, And so I'm going to read from the Bible, His Word, which is the truth. This is the living Word of God. So for me, I had to read and read and read and learn more, and God, what do you want to say to me? What is it that you're trying to teach me? And no matter who or what says anything to me in my ears, I didn't ever really believe it, or it didn't really stay in my heart, in my mind. It was only when I started reading His Word and really knowing, oh my goodness, this is the God who created the heavens and the earth. This is the God who literally knows every single thing from before the beginning of the world. So Psalm 139 13 to 16, it says, "For you created my inmost being, you knit me together in my mother's womb. I praise you because I am fearfully and wonderfully made. Your works are wonderful, and I know that full well. My frame was not hidden from you when I was made in the secret place, when I was woven together in the depths of the earth. Your eyes saw my unformed body. All the days ordained for me were written in your book before one of them came to be." So before we were even born, He knew what we're going to look like. He's making us in our mother's womb. Have you ever thought about how a child is born in a mother's womb? Yes, there's an egg, and then there's a sperm, and that two people got to do something to do that, But how is an entire human being formed in this mother's womb, right? God is saying He knew exactly what He was doing when He created you. So, you created my inmost being. You knit me together in my mother's womb. I am fearfully and wonderfully made. To know that you are fearfully and wonderfully made with a specific purpose, with a specific plan, you cannot compare that with anybody else. Everyone has a different path. Everyone has a different journey. Everyone has a different, timing of everything. But only God knows, because He's the one who created us, So that's one huge step in understanding why you don't need to compare yourself with another person, why you don't need to care about what anyone else thinks, because it only matters. The only thing that matters is what God thinks, And that is the truth, It may take time to get there, but once you start to really realize, in your heart, in your life, in your spirit, in your soul, in your mind, that Okay, you are unique, and God literally has this specific plan for your life, not to look like anyone else's, not the way that, my friend and I, we've been talking about how people, especially in Asia, the common normal thing is to work yourself to the bone, right? Like you just like work day and night, and then you wake up at 5 in the morning and you work until 11 p.m. and then you eat just very little and then you sleep just very little and then you go back to work. Like that is what's kind of considered normal, or maybe that's how you become successful in the world's eyes, or because everybody else is doing it, I should do it. But then there's people dropping dead, right? Like literally they faint and die because they're of exhaustion, right? Or suicide. We don't know. So it's like, whatever it is, like, we need to find a way where it's like, you don't need to follow the trends of the world, okay? You just need to really, really, truly understand that he has a specific plan for you, and it's not always going to look the way that everybody else is doing whatever they're doing. So you stop looking at other people as well, and then that will help you stop kind of caring what they think of you, okay? And then another verse that also, I really love to remind myself is Jeremiah 29, 11 to 14, we can read. For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord. Plans to prosper you and not to harm you. Plans to give you a hope and a future. Then you will call upon me and come and pray to me, and I will listen to you. You will seek me and find me when you seek me with all your heart. I will be found by you, declares the Lord, and will bring you back from captivity. I will gather you from all the nations and places where I have banished you, declares the Lord, and will bring you back to the place from which I carried you into exile. So God's plan for our life is to prosper us, to give us a hope and a future. It's not to harm us. It's not to hurt us. It's not to make us feel insecure. It's not to make us feel worthless or hopeless. It's complete opposite. His plan for our life is to have hope, to have a future, to have a plan, to be prosperous. This is his plan over our life, And so when we know that his plan over our life is this, you don't need to care about what anyone else is thinking or saying or doing, because you just don't know what they're going through either, right? Like they could be going literally through the same thing that you're going through, trying to figure out, okay, how do I not care about what people think, or how do I find hope or purpose, and how do I find confidence and all these kinds of things. But on the outside it shows, on social media and stuff like that, it shows like, oh, they're so secure, or like, they're so happy, or they're so all these things. But without God, literally we're nothing. You will not have that peace, that joy, that hope, the plans for the future. You don't have that because there's nothing to look forward to, right? If you do not know, it all comes from him. So in verse 13, you will seek me and find me when you seek me with all your heart. So it's not with a little bit of your heart. It's not with half of your heart. It's not with 3/4 of your heart. It's with all of your heart, And so during this time when I had to try to figure out, okay, what is life about? Why am I always like so empty, even though I have boyfriends or friends or jobs or school or keeping myself busy, I'm partying, I'm doing all these things of the world that should be fun and should be good. But why am I still so empty and lost and hopeless, It was when I had to like put everything aside, put everyone aside, and just figure out, okay, I'm not going to care what anyone else thinks or says, because this is life or death right now. Like, I need to figure out what life is really truly about right now. And so that's when I started reading his word, and he was like just revealing to me again and again, I have a specific purpose for you. I created you this way for this specific reason. you know, and it's not going to look like everybody else. It's actually going to look completely opposite of the world, you know. You're not going to follow the ways of social media about like whatever makeup and beauty and fashion and materialistic things, or things that don't matter on this earth, you know what I mean? It's going to be about the soul, the spirit, the mind, like how do we better ourselves in that way? And so even for you, like that's my prayer for you, is like that you find this truth, you know? So that's our one step forward, is to gain confidence in the Lord, not in the world, not what people are striving for. Whatever the world says success is, it's a lie, okay? Because materialistic success can fade and can be gone in a second, right? But when we look to heaven and we look to everything that He has in store for us when this life is over, that's what matters the most, you know? And then He teaches us to be kind and to be, you know, He changes literally your heart from the inside out, little by little by little, by taking out temptations, taking out, you know, things that you're so used to doing of the world, like wasting your time and days away on, you know, worldly things. He'll teach you. He will teach you the best of this life. And so I'm so excited for this new year. And like, even with all this that happened with Louis, like he's just teaching me more and more and more. Like there's never enough that you can learn about life, you know? So one step at a time, He will teach you that. Don't worry about what anyone else says. Worry about what He says about you, that you are beautifully, wonderfully made, you know, with a specific purpose, with a specific plan, and He has a hope, a plan, and a future for your life. Okay? And so let's walk this journey together, and growing in faith, and watching His miracles unfold in our lives, you know? And let's stay hopeful during this, what is it, 3rd year of pandemic, I guess, or something. It's literally been just over a week of 2022. And let's keep learning, let's keep growing, let's keep becoming better, stronger, more kind and loving people. Okay? Until next time, have a great day. Jesus loves you. Bye-bye.